Audio going. Alright. Interview 1, Zion Star album. Square one. Action.
What up, Z baby?
Okay.
How you feeling?
Bro, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to keep my mind straight.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on. I think that I've been super blessed to be able to see the process of all of this. I feel like I met you when you were just like in the middle of everything. Mm-hmm. And I know as soon as I met you, I was like, bro, he's insane. Like, I think that's the first thing I said, bro, you disgust me. Like, you're crazy. But something I have been thinking about lately, as of now that we're actually putting everything together, is like, some people have a gift of like creating. Some people know how to make music, but it's not always divine. And you just have like a gift of divine creativity. Yeah. And so I think that's something that I really want to hone in on, is the fact that you are gifted. But I know that you wasn't always aware that you were gifted with this gift of like music and creation before coming to Atlanta, which the fact that you're here by yourself is insane. Yeah. Before coming to Atlanta, music was not your thing from what I've seen, and you didn't come to SCAD with the intention of doing music. So what was that like for you, being from Maryland, not really having music at the time?
Well, being from Maryland and like the DV area specifically, music was always there, but it wasn't a thing of like, I've had on and off like relationship with music. Because it's like, I started off in church. I was in choir. You know what I'm saying? Little badass kid. You know what I'm saying? So my nana was like, you need to sing in church. Because like, you need the Lord. Because you
How old were you in choir?
7, I want to say. Okay. Probably 7. Yeah, I was 7 when I was in choir at New Hope Baptist Church. And what's that, Forestville, Maryland. And pretty much, I started there. And then as I got older, I used to think I was like a little Michael Jackson and shit.
Oh my gosh.
Like New Edition and everything.
Yeah.
So like I thought I was Ralph Tresvant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted like the little Jerry curl and everything.
Oh my gosh.
But my mom told me to get off his nuts.
Oh,
so
jeez.
I was kind of sad.
Yeah.
But when I got older, as I got older, I stuck to choir in like school and stuff like that. And I tried to take vocal lessons. And they were going all right, but I was getting pissed off because he kept having me singing New Edition. And as I was getting older, I wanted to just sing other things because it was like my voice was getting deeper. So I'm like, you don't think I should like...
What was the New Edition song? I need to know.
Ooh. It's fucking Candy Girl.
Candy Girl. That song is so high. Jesus.
Is. So it's like, bro, I'm 12 years old and he's like, Candy Girl. I'm like, and my voice. Please. So I told my nana, I was like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to do this no more. So then after that, I started like just trying to write my own songs. At first I would just like copy like the old school songs, and I'd be like, I'm gonna take his melody and then put my own lyrics.
So who was your like, I say top 3 old school artists that you look up to?
Top 3, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, and I probably have to say the entirety of New Edition. Like, I can't pick just one member.
I love that. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, music was just always there. I was always an avid music listener. My mom is a professional dancer. She's been dancing since she was 3.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, my dad is a Grammy-winning drummer.
Period. So, yes. Yeah. So it runs it's in your blood, literally.
Yeah. My grandfather played, I think, trombone. He knows music theory and stuff like that. So it's like musical. I got uncles that rap.
Yeah. So it was kind of just destined at that point.
It was always there, but it's like I was on and off because it was like trying to still find myself, but at the same time still like trying to figure out that what I'm doing isn't like dumb. Yeah. So it's like I had an on-off relationship with music because like music isn't a normal path for a lot of people because it's like it's pretty much taking a shot. Like, it's like you just betting on yourself.
Yeah.
Like roll the dice and just see if you make it type shit. So it was like I didn't know if that was the right thing to do. So once I got into high school, I would always like kick freestyles with my friends and stuff like that, and they would like hear me sing and stuff. And they're like, "Are you gonna make music?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
So
okay.
I'm also just dived into the fashion part of things.
Was there ever a point before coming to Atlanta where you just didn't do music at all? And if so, why?
Probably like when COVID started and towards when it started to end. Because I was just going through a real dark time at that period. My uncle had just passed away in 2019 from gun violence. And COVID just had locked everybody in. So it was like, I ain't have people around aside from like my mom. And my mom is the greatest, but she just always has a lot going on because she just looks out for so many people. So it was like, it was just me with like myself a lot of the time. So like during that time, I'm failing my class and everything. I wasn't paying attention. So it was like everything was going downhill. So I stopped writing songs. I started listening to real like sad music. Like it was a lot of like Juice WRLD, and, like Broadway, and like I want to kill myself type music.
Right. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So I stopped, and then after that, I just started kicking freestyles. And then once I was like 15, that's when I started like picking up. I actually writing raps. Like I was mostly writing like R&B stuff when I was younger.
Right. And I do know that you can sing a bit, which is crazy, but I've never heard you sing. And I'm really excited if you do decide to showcase that later, which I feel like you will. I'm very excited for people to see how multi-talented that you actually are. But what was a moment in like deciding what did you want to do when coming to SCAD, choosing your path for college, and then finding out like, oh, I want to do music? What was that moment like?
It was, for me, it was a leap of faith, because it's like, to get to SCAD, it was like I knew it was something that I can only do by myself. Like my parents, I had their support, but it was like being able to upkeep and like choose my major and stuff like that. Like I did all the research on SCAD before I got there.
Wow.
And I was doing fashion because I had my clothing brand, and I was doing good in the area.
Yeah.
So.
And you were really young at that time, like 16, 17?
I was 14 when I started my brand.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was 14.
Wow, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 14, and I went through a few phases of stuff. But once I was probably 16 was when like people around my school like knew me for clothes and stuff like that.
That's nice.
And then like probably when I was like probably 16, 17 is when it's like it fake blew up in the area. Like I remember one time my nana, she was at the doctor, and she said I think that same day or something like that same week, like somebody had walked in with my hoodie on.
Wow.
And she was just at the doctor's office.
Just random. Like, Jesus.
And then she was like, the other day I saw somebody, I was driving past and somebody was selling your hoodie. So I'm like, brother, out here reselling my shit in the city. That's kind of crazy.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So I was like 16, 17, like kind of like a popular loner in school.
Yeah.
Like people knew like, oh yeah, he fly, he make clothes.
Right.
But I was still kind of like to myself for the most part. Just kept my same circle.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, SCAD's the only thing that makes sense. Like it was SCAD or nothing. Like I'm not about to go to community college or like fucking Howard. Like I was like, I like art. So I chose to do advertising and branding, and then minor in fashion marketing. Yeah. And then I got there.
Yeah, how did that go?
And I was like, okay.
Okay. What was that? Okay. Elaborate more on that. It's okay.
I got there and I'm like, my people are here, but I'm unsure if I want to exactly pursue fashion. Because it was like, I love to design, but at the same time, it was other things calling me.
That's true. Okay.
I met a great guy named JH, John Hamilton Edwards III.
Yeah.
It's my brother. And pretty much he was I would probably say, aside from like people back home, he was like the first person to be like, nah, like you can be great. Yeah. Because he had heard me sing Boys to Men by New Edition. Yeah. And he was just like, what the fuck? Wow. Okay. And he owns Seraphim Studios. Okay. So he was just like, I think you should get this a shot. Cool. Yeah. And at first, you know what I'm saying, he didn't know I could rap. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, I'm a little slick nigga, a little smart nigga. Okay. So it's like, one day he was just sitting there on his computer or whatever. And I was just like, let me freestyle over this Janet Jackson beat. Yeah. So when I start kicking the freestyle, he's just looking. He's just like, how did this happen? Right? And I'm like, all right, cool, smooth. Yeah. So I start doing music. and I had made my first album in 20 days.
Jesus, an album in 20 days is insane.
Yeah.
Like literally, like the phrase "you disgust me" will forever stick with me with you, because I feel like the more and more you work, the more disgusting you get. Yeah. But when I found that out originally, I was like, "What the freak is wrong with him?"
Yeah, that was my first time ever like recording music when I made that. When I made my album.
Yeah.
And then some stuff had happened, and like pretty much we just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
We used YouTube beats.
YouTube beats, okay.
Yeah, YouTube beats, and it's like that's a whole fucking legal thing.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, my brain can't handle all that shit.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? We just gonna move on from that. And the project was called Make It Out Alive.
Okay, Make It Out Alive.
Yeah, it was 8 songs, and like I just pretty much just talking about like making it out of like where I come from.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started another project called Life is Forever.
Okay.
And that concept came from me believing that if you leave your art here, which art I feel like is the bane of life, not the bane of life, the backbone of life. I feel like that's the way that you're going to make sure that your life and your spirit lives on forever.
Yeah.
So that was the concept behind that.
Yeah.
But that also had some problems. I was working with producers at the time.
Okay.
I didn't know how to make, I knew how to make some type of beats on GarageBand.
Okay.
But I wasn't like producing. So I was using other people's producers because I have my stepmom. She's really like tapped in. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Great person. Great human being. She tapped me in with some producers. And the producers, they were great at what they did, but it's just like I was on a schedule.
Okay. You were on a schedule with the producers.
Yeah, I was on a schedule.
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying, they wasn't exactly on schedule.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They wasn't exactly on schedule, which I don't fault them for that, you know, things happen. So that got pushed back, and I was supposed to get in the studio, never got in the studio.
Right. But, you know, I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
I feel like where you are right now is perfect.
I agree.
So as much as like inconveniences happen, I personally, from the outside looking in, wouldn't change anything.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, you are perfectly where you need to be. Right. I do feel that way.
Because that's how we got square one.
Yeah.
And that's what I decided to change my major from advertising and branding to sound design, because it was like I felt myself stepping into, it's like that mode that you step into like before you feel like you're gonna make it, like before you feel like you at that point. Like I just stepped into that mode of like, I'm not gonna lie, like this is just what I need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of confirmation.
Right.
There was a lot of confirmation from God, of course.
It's like nothing can change your mind about this.
Nothing was able to change my mind. Like I talked to my mom and I was like, I'm changing my major.
Yeah.
I'm not.
How did she take that? Was she supportive?
She was supportive. She was supportive.
Okay.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Because she was just like, well, why? And I explained to her why. And my mom was always like, well, if that's what you feel like you need to do, then that's what you need to do.
I love that.
So
she
was supportive, but she was just like, just make sure you know what you're doing.
Right. Okay.
But after that, that's when I got pissed at the world and was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna start producing my own stuff.
Exactly.
And then I made Square One in one day.
Yeah. So to speak on Square One, I heard that you are dropping 2 projects. 2 projects in the span of what's the time span of those 2 projects?
Square One should be either late this year or early next year, and then this is another project called Before the Shine that comes out after.
So let's talk about Square One, okay? Because the name Square One, I feel like can have so many different meanings.
Yep.
Also, it's like, what caused you going from project to project? What it sounds like every project has a meaning.
Yeah.
What was the meaning behind Square One, and why was this so important for you to say, hey, I need to push this rather than anything else I've created right now?
Square, because that's where I feel like I was.
Okay, that's Square One.
Yeah, because it felt like I was not, because I have no producers, I have no studio. It was just my equipment and my dorm.
Okay.
And I was like, I gotta make something out of nothing, borderline. So I was mad as hell that day. So I remember actually going to one of my roommates, Jake, and I was telling him I was going to quit music because I was like, I didn't want to do it no more because it's like, bro, I'm getting all these things, all these pushbacks, all that shit. It's making me mad. And he was like, no, you're not. And I was like, yes, I am. He was like, no, you're not. So I went, I prayed, and then I had an itch to watch this cipher. It was the On the Radar cipher with Suave, Marco Plus, and everything. And they was rapping on this jazz beat, and I'm like,
What do you think? I can do this.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
so I'm thinking, I'm like, I could do this. Like, this should get me on the cipher.
Yeah.
So I went on GarageBand
Okay.
and I made there's a track on a project called Heal the World.
Heal the
And
World,
that was
okay.
the first song like that I had made for the project.
Yeah.
And pretty much I took myself down a hole of like,
So Heal the World was the first song that you ever like produced your beat on. That's insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Heal the World was the first song that I had produced, and I was like, oh no, I'm on to something.
Yeah.
So for like that whole rest of it, actually I think it was under a day. If I'm not mistaken, Square One took me 12 hours because I just was
Are you talking about the album in general? Like the whole EP?
Yeah.
The whole EP took you 12 hours?
Yeah.
How many songs are on this EP?
6.
6 songs in 12 hours.
Yeah.
You're insane. Yeah, you're insane.
Well, one of them was added on later on, but it was
Okay.
originally just 5.
And so what was that like? I mean, I can't imagine. I'm going to be real with you. I cannot imagine 6 songs in 12 hours. But the reason why I'm saying that is because there's a difference when you already have the tracks laid out and all you got to do is put lyrics on top of it.
Yeah.
You started everything from scratch.
Yeah.
So everything on Square One is completely Zion, and that's it.
Yeah.
It kind of takes like for you to be a little bit delusional
Yeah.
to do. What was that like for you?
I was mad.
Okay. Rage.
I was
Yeah.
very fucking mad. Like mad to the. You'll understand. There's a song on the EP called
Okay.
Pennies. It's the
Okay.
intro,
Yeah.
and like that was the intro, and like
Yeah.
it's very telling as to
Yeah.
how I was feeling.
Okay.
Because my tone and like what I'm talking about, and then like eventually I'm just like so it's like I was just mad, but then over time I started to just feel like if I don't do this today, then I'm not gonna be the greatest.
Yeah.
Because it's like I felt like if I didn't, because I couldn't capture that feeling of
Right.
being knocked down at Square One
Yeah.
ever again. Like I felt myself, I knew I couldn't. So I was like, if I don't get this done today, this feeling is just gonna go to waste, and it's
Right.
not gonna amount to nothing.
Yeah.
So I put myself through just like training. I learned how to like, it's because like my production style comes from like a lot of like loops and samples and stuff like
Okay,
that.
yeah.
That's my production style. But I had to teach myself how to do drums and stuff like that, because
Yeah.
originally I was trying to use other drum patterns.
And like you didn't play any instruments before this, yes or no? No instruments.
Nah,
no
I only
nothing.
knew how to play like 2 melodies on the
Wow. On the keyboard.
Yeah, on the keyboard.
Okay. That's pretty insane. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I feel like it is. I feel like the message of Square One is something that most creatives can relate to, especially being the fact that like music isn't such a secure path.
Right.
You know? Also, there's a lot of people who do music, but also there's a difference between doing music and then having a sense of divine creativity. Or it's like,
Yeah.
I know the reason why I'm doing this is because God called this to be my mission.
Right.
How important is it for you to keep God at the center of everything that you do?
It has to be. I grew up in a Christian household. My dad is a Christian. My mom recently converted to being a Muslim.
Okay.
Well, Muslim. I'm trying to, which term? I don't know.
I think
Muslim.
yeah.
But she recently converted that. So my family is very like spiritual and everything.
Yeah.
Like my grandfather is one of the most intelligent people I know in the world, and he's like, he knows the Bible like the back of his hand. He used to preach and stuff like that. He had
Okay.
a church. My uncle's a Christian. Like, so my nana's a Christian. My grandma. So I grew up in a very like spiritual household to the point of like we pray before we eat, we pray before we go to sleep. Like we was those type of kids.
Yeah.
So it was like you ain't have no choice but to wake your ass up and go
Right.
and go to church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think being in a point in your career where it's like I'm letting God guide me. I don't see the
Right.
fruits of my labor right now, but I'm letting God guide me is so important. But I think that you wear it very well.
Yeah.
A lot of people, sometimes the endurance is very low, and so they give up and they lose faith. But you are probably one of the strongest soldiers I've ever seen when it comes to like having faith. And sometimes you have to remind me like, okay, so it's like you need to lock in. Like
Right.
God got you.
Yeah.
And I think that's really evident in your work.
Yeah.
But speaking of you being multi-talented, that's so much that you do, Zion, that I get confused. I get lost. I want you to be able to name everything that you do, because I think it's going to take you really far in your career, but also it's inspiring because my brain can't even work like that. You know what I'm saying?
Everything that I do. Okay, so of course, production, songwriting, singing, rapping, graphic design, fashion design, creative direction. With some other things, I film directed before.
Okay. Jesus.
I've done my own photography before, so photography, photo editing, color grading, stuff like that, like editing videos. And stuff, like, because I grew up doing YouTube and stuff like that, so I taught myself how to edit videos. Yeah.
You had a YouTube channel?
Bro, I was corny.
Wait. Hold on, wait. What was the YouTube? What did you do on YouTube?
So it started off when I was younger because I was trying to do custom shoes. So I started off
shoes.
Yeah, so I started off posting videos because we couldn't afford to get new pairs of like Air Forces all the time. So I started off like doing
designing your own shoes.
Yeah, I was like cutting out papers at Air Forces and I would post it on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, I started off doing that. Then I started doing like story times and like reaction videos and stuff like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, like then I started doing skits.
Yeah, skits.
Yeah. Oh, I also act.
So is it? You also act?
Yeah.
Zion, what the heck? Yeah. So speaking of acting, so the visual representation for Square One. I do want to know more about how involved you're going to be with the visual representation of Square One and the message behind like the storytelling and how we get to see the songs on Square One play out in like real time.
I'm very involved. Like I'm extremely to the point of like I feel like if I'm not involved, I feel like then it's not me.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm very involved in like what the colors are, like what the aesthetic is. Like I'm not the best at like storyboarding and stuff like that. You know, so I have a team to do that.
Yeah.
But it's for sure my idea. Like I don't stray away from that.
I'm super excited.
I listen to God. Most of the time.
I'm super excited. Okay, so last thing.
Yeah.
You're 80 years old, right? So like 80-year-old Zion, you won like 1,000,001 Grammys.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has loved your music and like generations after us, like they look up to you and very inspirational.
Yeah.
You've done everything that you wanted to do. You lived the life that you wanted to live and you gave it back to your community. What are 3 things that you would want to be able to leave people with, if nothing?
3 things. First thing is keep God in the center of everything you do. Don't ever stray away from that. Keep your spirit. Don't let these people shift you into any which way.
Yeah.
Because it's like at the end of the day, God and Jesus, He heals all.
Exactly.
So it's like keep Him at the center of everything. Number 2, fuck what everybody talking about.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what's best for you.
But you and God.
But you and God. So if you ain't having that conversation with Him, stop taking advice from motherfuckers who never been what you've been through, who don't know, who haven't been where you are, who have no idea what it feels like to be in your shoes.
Yes.
Because a lot of times it's either them trying to pull you down or them not being able to actually comprehend.
Exactly. I love that.
But number 3, which is most importantly, which is something that I practice every day, is being grateful, being humble, and being authentic. Those 3 things I feel like will get you anywhere in life, because authenticity is the bread and butter of any person or artist for people to really fuck with you for who you are.
Exactly.
Being genuine keeps your connections and makes sure that people understand your heart. I have a very big heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nice guy. I'm like a teddy bear.
Okay,
so,
I can see that. You're a nice guy. Yeah.
And being very humble. Sometimes people say I'm a little bit too humble. You know what I'm saying? I'm very much like somebody like, oh, you did this great, and I'm like, that's cool.
It's like, but you know, God's still working with me.
You know what I'm saying? God's still working on me. That's forever. Yeah. Because it's like you ain't never gonna be at 100%. And I don't want, if you ever get into the mindset of, to all the kids out there, if you ever get into the mindset of I made it, then you stunted yourself.
Yes.
You stunt your growth
forever, because it ain't over till life is over.
Right. So it's like being humble and just being able to like not tone yourself down, but being able to understand that like you ain't the greatest yet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can be the greatest one day, but that ain't until the Lord call you home until you look back on what you did. Yeah. So it's like you can always strive for that. Always, of course, like don't be don't shit on yourself, but like
Yeah.
be confident for sure.
Yeah.
But still like be humble, be meek, like
Know who you are.
know
but,
who you are. Just stay low key, do your thing. Like
Yeah.
God gonna guide you regardless.
I love that.
And also be the color in the room.
Yes, be the color in the room.
Be the color in the room.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited for Square One. I can't wait to see the whole entire project, and I'm just blessed that I have an opportunity to sit down and talk with you on this.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super fun. To all the children, to all the kids, to all the adults, everybody, kids, mamas, grandmas, aunties, cousins, all the people,
Yeah.
DMV all around the world. Always love. Keep loving your life. You know what I'm saying? Love your girl. Love your mama. Don't be calling no women bitches because that's rude. Wash your ass because people stink. Again, be clean, be fresh, be fly. Mama, I love you. Carrington, I love you.
Amazing.
All that. I got a wife, y'all, if y'all ain't know that.
Period.
But JH, I love you. Seraphim, I love you.
Yeah.
I love everybody. Keep loving your heart. Keep God at the center. And yeah, Square One, Before the Shine on the way. Strikers coming out first. Juneteenth. Square One. I'll let y'all know.
Period.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. We will
sure.
see you soon.
All right, for sure. Love y'all.